Howdy Patriots, it's December 20th, 2023. This is J6 News Updates and Chats. Day 1078 of FJB's debacle. And we're going to cover Vigil number 505 last night from the DC Gulag, where our Patriots are standing on Freedom Corner every night from 7:30 to 9 o'clock. Giving the J6ers a voice. Wrongfully incriminated American patriots thrown in jail by this regime. This regime is out of control, Patriots. Out of control. Hello, Sherry Thomas. And we better get this in here till Deb Vi finds me. There we go. Hi, Docs and Grandma, how are you? Hello, Annette Park. Hope you joined me on that little adventure at the Strasburg Railroad. That was a lot of fun. They got that. I mean, that is a treat. For such a small town, that is one amazing railroad museum. You can ride an antique rail cars. Everything in there was pristine. So I might put together a little video of all the photos that I took in there. Hello, Sylvia. Hello, Debbie B. Hi, Sylvia. Priscilla. So we might as well get right on it here. All right, last night at Freedom Corner, in case you missed it, a lot happening at Freedom Corner every night, man. We're getting phone calls like crazy. Barely enough time to even read the roll call, but they're still getting that in there. Still doing the national anthem at 9 o'clock. Still doing the God Bless America, God Bless the USA song at the end with a kick, by the way. The kick is looking good there, Patriots. Finally, they didn't have rain. You know, they could do it without the awnings set up and stuff. And there was a good dozen Patriots out there again last night. Definite holding down the fort there. 505 days in a row, Patriots. And I think we're finally making some headway. At least the whole country's talking about J6 now. I don't know if we can take credit for all of that, but we're getting the word out there, what these guys are going through into prison, the atrocities that these the BOP is inflicting on these guys. And the massive unprofessional behavior by pretty much every arm of government we try to look at here. From the DC courts to the BOP, to the prison staff, to the Metro Police. We got an eye on them, and we're showing you, America, what's going on. Just like right now at the border, we've been watching what's going on at the border for a year and a half because we got live streamers there. Now the mainstream media is taking credit like they're coming down there and finally showing America what's going on down there. And it's a year and a half too late, in my opinion, on that. So we're showing you, Patriots, this is how we're going to report on and broadcast news from now on out. Mainstream media will go down, and I hope you all cut the cable because it's a waste of time. And it got us into a world of hurt right now. Hey there, Cleo. So much is coming out right now. That is for sure. Hi, Shadow. So last night at Freedom Corner, Nicole started off the night with a great rant, man. And she, of course, the big news of the day, yesterday, which seems like a week ago already, the way how fast things are going. Yesterday, the Colorado Supreme Court declared that Donald Trump can't be on the presidential primary ballot. They're just saying, you are guilty of insurrection, Donald Trump. And Colorado Supreme Court is saying you are guilty without a trial, by the way, without anybody else getting charged for insurrection, believe it or not. Not one J6er has had an insurrection charge. And Supreme Court just way overstepped their bounds. Now, I do understand that I read some of the paperwork pertaining to this ruling, and they said that they're going to put a stay on the ruling until January 4th. Now, here's some of this double-speak language, two different language things we're talking about. When I say stay, that means the dog sits there and doesn't move, right? When I say stay, that means I'm going to stay in one place, okay? When the court says we put a stay on this decision until January 4th, who knows what it means, okay? I have no idea what that means, and that is the aggravating thing about all this stuff. So why even come out with a decision if there's a stay? I do not get it at all. It's all hogwash, man. It's hogwash. So I'm hoping, I am so praying that every single person in Colorado that voted for Donald Trump is out in the streets right now, but I'm probably going to be disappointed. Do you guys remember when the New Mexico governor put a limit on some type of a gun or an ammunition about 6 months ago? And the next day, everybody in New Mexico, especially Santa Fe and Albuquerque, they stood up. They all went out in force. Mass amounts of people went out and stood against that decision by their governor, and it was reversed almost immediately. So come on, Colorado. Let's see what you're going to do about this. You're just going to let your Supreme Court come in and overrule who you can vote for or who you can't vote for? Our Pennsylvania Supreme Court did the same thing during COVID. All our laws here are made by the legislature. The courts rule on the laws that the legislature makes. Well, our Supreme Court thought they could just come in and legislate, and they changed our election laws in 2020. And all of Pennsylvania didn't stand up screaming like their hair was on fire. They should have, because then the election was held. The election was rigged. The election results resulted in FJB getting the electoral votes from Pennsylvania. And a year and a half later, the Supreme Court ruled on themselves that, yep, you're right, we shouldn't have changed the election laws. And instead of like having a new election or changing the rules or that, they just said, well, we won't do it again. And this was the emergency powers that were granted our governments when the emergency was declared over COVID, which was not worthy. The only reason that they declared an emergency was that so they could rig that election. And I hope everybody sees that now. 2020 hindsight. I hope you see that now, Patriots. And I hope all these other sleepers out here see that now too. And Nicole's rant was about that Supreme Court decision and that Donald Trump, the Supreme Court in Colorado said Donald Trump engaged in an insurrection. And how much more are we going to take? How much more are we going to take? Like, tell us how it is, Nicole. Tell us how it is. Well, I'm loving your speeches down there. And Dead for Freedom put out a great short on that rant last night. And it was awesome, man. Okay, so I guess here we go. California Lieutenant Governor urges Secretary of State to explore options to remove Trump from state ballot. So is this the way they're going to go? Is this what they're going to do now? Nobody's going to buy another pandemic, that's for sure. And, we got World War III going on there. Maybe that's plan B or C for them. Fire up World War III. That would definitely grant the government war power, whatever. So maybe they can just cancel the election. We're having an election in November of 2024, whether this government accepts that possibility or not, that reality or not. We, the people of America, are entitled to our elections. You can't take that election away from us, people. You can't take it away from us. We will have that election. So here we go. California is going to be next in line, going the same route. I think Wisconsin or Michigan, 2 other states already had their courts look at the decision on whether or not Donald Trump could be on their ballot. And they ruled in Donald Trump's favor. Luckily, they understand our Constitution. So I don't know. I'm just a little worked up over this. I've about had it, man. But I'm still standing. I'm still on the battlefield right now. We got to just continue. We can't get tired and go take a nap right now. This is go time, America. And it's really go time in Colorado right now. And you guys better be standing up down there, or, you know, forever hold your peace, basically, man. Yeah, Ferg, yeah. They've been wanting us to do a civil war since COVID. I'm convinced of that. We will not become violent. We are not violent people. Yeah, Colorado found Trump guilty of a charge he was never charged with. They just declared him guilty of insurrection. There has been no trial whether or not Donald Trump partook or initiated an insurrection there. He didn't even go to the Capitol, man. All right, Sylvia, former White House lawyer Ty Cobb explains why Supreme Court of the United States will unanimously overturn Colorado's unconstitutional ruling. Well, we sure hope so. We sure hope so. We thought they were going to look at the Brunson versus Adams case and declare what the meaning of an oath means, too. But they didn't. They pushed that case aside. I don't know. Maybe everything wasn't in place for that decision to be made then. Brunson versus Adams, I think, is dead. There's another Brunson case in the upper courts of Utah right now that might make it to there. And that case declares that they all broke their oaths when they certified an election, that 140 of our representatives stood up and said, hey, I don't think that was a great election. And then they got overruled. So we did have a core group of people in our Congress that were saying that election was rigged, but they got overruled by the corrupt ones, whose names are going to come out here. We'll get to that. So Dev for Freedom put out a video on Nicole's rant, and I highly recommend you see that, man. Nicole was speaking at a moment of clarity, and it was just right to the heart of the deep state, man. Right to the heart of the deep state. Okay, then we got a call from Taylor Jonatakis, of course, great patriot in there, and he was talking about the Colorado Supreme Court ruling. While he was on the phone, we got word that Vivek Ramaswamy is going to take his name off the ballot in Colorado if they don't put Trump back on the ballot there. And that's what the GOP has to do right now, is stand in unity against this tyranny going on in every state. And if the GOP just lets Donald Trump out there hanging, man, more will be exposed, okay? I already got a feeling that's what they're going to do. But Vivek stood up. He said, I'm not on that ballot. If you don't put Donald Trump back on that ballot, I'm taking my name off the ballot. And he's told all the other GOP Republican candidates that they should follow suit for the decency of this country, for the liberty of this country, man, because this issue is bigger than each of these candidates on their own. It's an issue way bigger than Chris Christie, way bigger than Nikki Haley. Their personal, I want to run for president thing. This is a matter of the rule of law in America right now. And the fact that a Supreme Court in a state just did this is outstanding. It's unfathomable for this to happen. Ron DeSantis says removal of Trump from ballot is part of a scheme to secure his nomination. Come on, Ron. Come on. Will this guy never... It's all getting exposed, man. If you can't see what's going on, 2020, we can see what's going on. I don't know how many Republicans are on that list. The list to take their names off of the ballots, I don't know. They don't impress me whatsoever. So I would imagine Vivek's going to be the only one, man. I can't imagine Nikki Haley saying that, or Ron DeSantis. Look at him. He's talking shit on Trump. Like Trump orchestrated this? Trump said, hey, Colorado Supreme Court, take me off the ballot. And that's a scheme I got to get me elected president. Come on, man. Come on. Trump is not on the ballot, they won't have a primary and switch to a caucus format. How about we just hold their Supreme Court accountable? You know, I don't know, man. I don't know, Smallwater. I'm still all, my hair's on fire on this. Definitely. It is definitely election interference, Julius. They're meddling in these elections. So Taylor Jonatakis was talking about Vivek not running in there once we got that update from Tammy. Found out that Taylor interned as an Idaho State representative's aide. So this might be where he has, I guess he's always had a mind towards government. I think he said he was a political science major. So now we find out last night he interned for an Idaho State rep. And while he was in there, he understood that when the representative would get a letter from a constituent, one of his people, they would get a letter on a certain topic and an opinion on it. And that representative understood that that one letter that he got represents actually about 100 people. And the theory is that, you know, people will get upset about something, but only 1 out of 100 will write a letter. So that's what we've been doing with the phone calls now. They got to assume that every phone call they get is worth 20 people having that same opinion. So we can't let up right now, Patriots. Whatever pressure we're putting on our representatives, we got to turn it up to 11 right now. We got to turn it up to 11. You think Nikki Haley's paid by Soros? It wouldn't surprise me. And why is Soros allowed to operate in this country anymore? So many countries have just kicked him out, said you can't come here. Russia did that. I think China did that. And then, all right, so one of them Supreme Court justices or Colorado Supreme Court justices, Iggy? Not sure what you're talking about there. One of them can be removed. Yes, they probably can. What's this here, Sylvia? Last time Dems took a GOP off the ballot was 1860. Wouldn't allow Abe Lincoln on the ballot in slave states. That's right. There was 10 states, I do believe, said that he couldn't be in there. In fact, well, I don't know. I had a meme on that. I got to figure out how to put memes up again. I got a whole bunch of memes to show you guys, but not today. I'll have to figure it out how to do it again. I know I was doing it a while ago, but I forgot how. But yeah, 10 states took Abe Lincoln off the ballot. And he won anyways. Let's see here. Where are we? Jonatakis. 1 letter equals 100 constituents. No one's been charged with insurrection. Definitely look up Taylor's website that his wife is running for him right now called Peasant's Perspective. It looks like a really good website. I got into it a little bit yesterday. And it's a great website, man. It's got some writing that Taylor did. He says his wife is going to try to keep updated with things as they happen with his trial and whatnot here. We also had Patriot Tom Jeffries from the Northern Neck Patriots on the corner last night. And he got up and talked about that 1512 clause and was explaining how that's a leftover thing from the Enron scandal that happened. But he never got to finish what he was talking about because the next phone call came in. Awesome action going down on Freedom Corner. God bless these Patriots for getting this stuff done. Frank Costino got on the phone. He says that he's probably looking at 3 months and that time served. So he's going to be in and out. But we had some Patriots in the chat looking up his prison record on the Department of Justice records. And it's all mixed up, man. His incarceration date is listed as his release date. And the information that was under his name on the record, the official DOJ record of his court papers was wrong. And Frank Costino also said the name on his charges spells his last name wrong. And, you know, what these guys are talking about, that these judges are just they're not even really judges because they never took a legal or lawful oath of office or a written oath of office. You know, are these guys just winging it and we're all just complying and assuming that, okay, they said I got to go to jail for 10 years. I guess I got to go to jail for 10 years. It's starting to look like this is all just theater, man. And somehow or another, they get you in jail. They got you all locked up. You can't do nothing about it. But their rulings, or whatever they want to call it, a ruling, a decision, a judgment, I don't know. It's the legal mumbo jumbo. Yeah, Colorado is worse than California. And look at the degenerates that moved out of Colorado or California. They changed Washington State. They changed Oregon. They changed Colorado. They're changing Texas. Alex Jones says Austin, Texas is turning into a dump. A dump. You were in Colorado, small water guy, for 12 years. Wow. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous state, man. As far as like what God gave them, beautiful state, beautiful state. Engeron says he is ruling on his emotions, not the law. Well, that's funny, a judge should say that, since his oath says he won't do that. Yeah, I hope. All talking about me, Colorado. Yeah, we're talking about you, Colorado. Colorado's got to stand up there, Colorado. Yeah, U.S. Supreme Court should probably step in and do this. But here we go. Another case Donald Trump's got to take on, hire lawyers for, do all the paperwork involved. And when that Brunson versus Adams case came up, I understand that there is a bunch of work you got to do to get that into the court. You have to have like 45 copies of your case. It has to be bound like a book. It's ridiculous the amount of requirements it takes. But God bless Donald Trump. Prayers for Donald Trump to handle all this stuff. And in the meantime, we the people have to secure this next election in 46 weeks. We got 46 weeks to do it, if not before. And then Frank Quistino also said that he's listed as a felon in this gulag paperwork. And he's only been charged with misdemeanors. So we are looking forward to seeing Frank Quistino released by July or by January sometime. And then he has filed a Supreme Court habeas corpus, blah, 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 whatever that means. But he's got something going into the Supreme Court, hopefully, to be ruled on or to be decided if they'll rule on it. And that pertains to the invalid written oaths of the justices in the federal court in D.C. He has found all kinds of mistakes with these oaths. He was lied to numerous times by judges, prosecuting attorneys, defense attorneys about these written oaths of office. And then finally, he was diligent. He finally got to the bottom of that and found out that these oaths were changed. The written one was changed from what Congress required it to be, and they signed their names to it, and they're not valid oaths. Technically, to the letter of the law, these oaths are not the same ones Congress determined that they should be taking. There's small differences, but hey, we're talking nuts and bolts legalities here, and they're different. They're different than the oath that Congress established for them to take and to swear by. Okay. 2020. Here we go. Okay, then we got a call from James Grant. And Deb for Freedom put out another phone call also today, and I'm thinking it was James Grant's phone call. And he was just saying, "We love Trump, man. We gotta be behind Trump here. Trump is taking the arrows for us. He's not gonna. Didn't have a trial, but he's been declared guilty." And oh man, I had all these Bible verses the chat was coming up with. Chat was beautiful last night on Trooper's channel, man. Everybody was sharing verses, sharing blessings, sharing prayers. about every need that we have, Patriots. It is such a support network in there that it's unbelievable. It's like a religious experience. All right, Grant Stinchfield. President Trump needs to hold a rally in Colorado ASAP. That's right, he does. I hope he does do that too. Yeah, we're not ragging on you, Colorado. We love you, but, you know, your state's got to get something together, man. Oh, and hey, Ridgeline, good to see you in here. Hey, C for Freedom. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. James Grant. And that was Patricia Joy in the chat, was sharing verses, and Metal is Joy. Thank you for sharing the verses in the chat there. I forgot to bring my Bible out here to read them, but I think we're going to be hurting for time and darkness here to get this over with. James Grant's all bogus charges that Trump's dealing with in Miami, in Georgia, in New York, in D.C. It's all bogus, man. It's all bogus. And Trump is fighting for us. Hallelujah. Bless this man, Father. Bless his family. Give him the wisdom that he needs and the perseverance and the courage that he needs to continue to stand for us in this country. Tammy got up and did roll call as fast as she possibly could. Somebody shared Ephesians 6:10-20, the armor of God verses. And, man, it was just a great night in chat, man. It is very uplifting. If you haven't experienced it before, in order to get in on the chat on a video, you got to be signed up with YouTube and you got to be a subscriber to that channel. And I highly recommend it, man. We're having great fellowship in the chats there on Stormtrooper and David's, Freedom Express Media, Glory B, Ashley, for Ashley, J6 Vigils, and We the People MAGA out there on the corner every night, 505 nights in a row now. And then Jeff Sable called in again, Groundhog Day again, in the prison there. The Patriot Mail Project, they had a Christmas fund for children of the inmates that are in the D.C. Gulag, not necessarily just J6er family children, but for children whose parents are in the jail for Christmas. And they raised over $55,000 for 100 and almost 60 children, man. And God bless you, Patriots, for contributing to that. That's where we step in, you know. If that's what you can contribute is money, then God bless you all for doing that, man. Our J6ers organized a Christmas drive for prisoners' children, not just their own children. And that was money that could have went to their commissaries, that could have went to their families, but they raised it for the benefit of the families in that prison, man. $55,000 all over. It was $3,000 something over what they set as a benchmark to achieve. So praise the Lord for these Patriots donating to that fund for these children, man. Now they can have some Christmas presents. Jeff Sable, and then now Jeff Sable, man, he gets these news. I don't know where he gets news, man, but he's telling us news that we haven't heard yet. And one of the things that he heard was that Iran has a Space Force wing of their military, and that there were explosions detected over there in Iran at the Space Force base in Iran. Can't verify that. He talked about how this judge has declared that Epstein's associates need to be named. It's about time this secret information is disclosed so we can figure out if we're voting for pedophiles or not. This is David's channel, and David's having a really good pre-vigil and post-vigil show. He'll start streaming. I don't know if he's going to do this every day, but he has done this for the last 2 days. He gets on an hour before the vigil, goes over news. He's dragging it in really nice. It looks good on screen. The sound is good. You get to chat and talk about the news articles. Then the vigil shows up. if there's any breaks in it, he gets on and commentates on stuff. And then after the vigil last night, he stays on and we talk about other things. Last night, he had Eric Christie call in, who was released from the gulag and is now out in California as a free man. And we got to hear a little bit of the world of a J6er getting released into the world again. This guy's got to put his entire life back together. And he's wondering, can I collect unemployment? It's hard to get a job when you're a felon. Can I collect welfare? Can I get, what is, just to listen to what he's going through in an effort to get back on his feet after this insanity that the DOJ, that the FJB just put this guy through, man. And that was really cool, David. Really, really cool, man. I loved it. I hope you do some more of this. David, of course, is in Ohio right now. He's not on the corner, but Freedom Express is still up and running, man. Freedom Express Media. And silly for him is baking cookies today. I wish I was there. One of the best times of the whole year is when you walk into the house and all you smell is like cookies. It's so nice. So nice. Jeff Sable also talked about the Trump will probably appeal the Colorado Supreme Court ruling to the Supreme Court here in D.C. Congressman Loudermilk is revealing more undercover FBI to be revealed. So now we got ghost buses with undercover dressed FBI people dropping people off all over the Capitol on the morning of January 6th. We got witness testimony in J6 trials that there were undercover police officers in that crowd. We got Ukrainian soldiers in the crowd. We got all kinds of stuff. It is all busting loose. And it is not fake news. It's all on video, just like them Georgia election people, even though the court ruled against Giuliani here. But we got videos of them doing it. You got to believe your eyes, man. That's all you can see, man. It's all you know is there they are counting stacks of ballots multiple times, and they're not being charged and getting rewarded by these courts, man. Out of control. The age of absurdity, man. So Congressman, I don't know if he's a senator or a congressman, Loudermilk, has got info on more undercover FBI revealed. And he mentioned that this is like a multi-level chess game, and I've heard this analogy before, that Trump is playing 3D chess, but Jeff Sable added the fact that this is a timed 3D chess game going on. There is a time limit on this whole thing, and election 2024 is the end of the game right there. Jeff Sable also mentioned that Lara Logan on her truthinmedia.com website has got an awesome interview with Clay Higgins, another patriot congressman who is standing up for us. He's releasing the information about these ghost bosses that the undercover FBI agents were on. And that's it, man. That's it for Freedom Corner. But what an exciting night. What an exciting night. What do you got for me, Sylvia? Canadian oil companies delay emissions cuts, eyeing looming Prime Minister Trudeau defeat in 2025. Yeah, I heard he's going down too. Things aren't looking good for him up there in Canada. About time, Canada. Boy, he was a tough one. Look at what he did to you, Canada. Look at what Trudeau has done to you guys up there in Canada. But you guys got us started with that Ottawa protest with the truckers and stuff. I mean, that kind of sparked things here in America. We did our own convoy with the emergency powers that government gave themselves during the COVID mandates, and we stood up against that. They ignored that and kept the mandates going for a whole nother year till they finally ended. They're still doing the COVID stuff in the prisons just because it's a method of control over people, man. Okay, I'm going to get into some news here real quick. I just saw that the Senate porn channel, that guy put out a video expressing his love of Lindsey Graham. So this degenerate that filmed himself having butt sex in the Senate Hart building also put out a little, TikTok or whatever you call it, about he's waiting for Lindsey Graham in the shower, and there's a picture of him naked. Degeneracy, man. Yeah, it's long past time for pitchforks, but small water guy, we're not violent, okay? We're not violent. We're going to do this like Americans do, and we will defend ourselves, but we are not violent people. I'm not up on the Santa thing, Shadow. I'm sorry. I stood with Santa long and hard there at Convoy, though, and on the lawn. Definitely is a good man, good patriot, but I don't know what he's up to these days. I do want to bring attention to Tucker Carlson's Rumble channel. It's a easy way to access Tucker Carlson now, and he's doing new interviews and replaying some of the old ones. They're all excellent. And I keep going through the scroll of videos that he's got out. I'm thinking, oh, that one's not going to be good. And I watch it, and it's excellent every single time. He has interviewed, he's got interviews about fact checkers, about the liberal mindset. John Daly, the golfer, he's got 2 great videos with that guy. Smoking cigarettes and drinking beer with him. The government UFO secrets, Alex Jones, Kid Rock, and Trump. He didn't interview Trump, but he's talking to Kid Rock about hanging out with Trump. So, man, I'd highly recommend checking out Tucker Carlson's Rumble channel. Let's see what else we got in news here. Okay, Trump removed from the primary, and there's this stay on it until January 4th. The Border Patrol has shut down international trade on the rail lines in order to facilitate the mass amounts of people on the border. So not only Nicole brought up, Nicole brought up the fact that the Border Patrol is poaching Bureau of Prisons people to help out down at the border with all the clipboard work and loading buses that they got to do down there. And then Border Patrol is also taking manpower. They're in charge of inspecting rail cars that come across the border. They just shut it down. They just shut that down so that they can facilitate this invasion at the border. The government's totally out of control, America. Totally. They're going to shut down our economy now because there's so many illegal immigrants coming in. It gets more absurd every single day and more outrageous every day. So we need that stuff coming in for all the commerce coming in on the rail cars, That's part of our economy. That's part of the goods and food and everything that we need. And Border Patrol just shut it down. Trains can't come across the border anymore till this clears up. They're killing us. They are at war with us right now, and we're all sitting around thinking, gosh, I hope it stops tomorrow. Let's see. All right, and here's something to ponder. FJB won Colorado in the 2020 election by 14 points, okay? So what are they so scared of, man? So they're saying that Trump is so, in their minds, they're saying that Trump is so popular that he's going to overcome a 14-point deficit from the last election and beat Joe Biden. That's the only reason they're doing this. They know that Trump is going to take Colorado if they don't do anything about it. So now the Democrats are preserving democracy, because that's what they're always talking about. Trump is a threat to democracy. We got to preserve democracy. The Democrats are now preserving democracy by destroying democracy. Do you see what this is? This is dictator stuff. This is tyrant stuff right there, man. Yeah, and the Marshal Service is being called in for that too. Border Patrol, Bureau of Prisons, and the Marshal Service is all helping, or not Border Patrol. No, I'm getting all mixed up. Border Patrol has asked Bureau of Prisons and the Marshal Service to come down and help them. So now they're not protecting federal buildings, because that's what the Marshal Service is in charge of doing. And furthermore, the Border Patrol is not doing the other work that they're supposed to be doing with inspecting rail cars coming across. So are they going to stop inspecting trucks coming across next? I mean, they're going to shut down. They're putting a dent in our economy right now by not just putting a stop to the illegal flow of migrants coming into this country, man. And the Democrats are preserving democracy by destroying democracy. What kind of insanity is that, man? So we're always looking for ideas how to secure this next election. Here's one that I think sounds really good. You know, in a primary, you can only vote in the primary of the party that you are registered to vote under. So if you register as an independent, you can't vote for Trump in the primary. You can't vote for FJB in his primary. As a Republican, I can only vote in the Republican primary. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my Republican registration until that primary. I'm going to vote in that primary. And the next day, I'm switching to independent, man. That's it. There'll be one way that we Republicans, registered Republicans, can send a clear and concise message to the GOP. Get rid of Ronna McDaniels and get your head screwed on straight, GOP. We are not into the GOP because you're the GOP. We are into the GOP because Trump is in the Republican Party, and you guys have been backstabbing him the whole time. You have been backstabbing the MAGA movement the whole time. So I'm voting Trump in that primary, and the next day I am unsigning from the Republican Party. And that should send a message. If we get 50 million people to do that, they are going to have to take notice, man. They will have to take notice of that. Really, in Oklahoma, independents can vote for Democrats, but not Republicans? What kind of insanity is going, this has been going on way too long. We've been sleepy. Oh, wow. Ryan Samsel, Gateway Pundit article about Ryan Samsel today. He has clots and got treatment. They Lysoled your phone. Our government's not listening to us anymore. They are literally hanging the phones up on us. I've had that happen at my representative's office also. So I'm not going to call him anymore. I'm going to go there and stand in front of his office with a sign and a camera. That's what I'm doing next time I talk to my congressman. Yeah, we got goofy rules on the primaries and stuff. It took me 2 decades to figure all that stuff out. So that's what I'm doing, voting in the primary and canceling my Republican Party affiliation. And I thought that would be a good, peaceful way to send a message to these thick-headed Republicans that think they're running our party. All right, and the Colorado Supreme Court decision was stayed until January 4th, whatever that means. 2 languages, like Frank Cristino's saying. All right, and then Vivek will withdraw from the primary unless Trump is reinstated. And Vivek's immediate response is the way forward. Okay, I think I got through it all, Patriots. I got through it all. So there you go. There's the rundown in case you missed Freedom Corner last night. Freedom Corner's getting exciting now. And they're doing a good job of broadcasting it out to the masses. And we're pretty sure the numbers are all skewed. It says that, 2,000-3,000 people are watching Trooper Stream, but I think it's way, way more than that. And Patriots, this is how we keep this going. Mainstream media has stabbed everybody in the back. They cannot continue anymore. We have to support our local streamers. I am one of them streamers. I will continue to be a streamer. This is what the Lord has put on my heart, and all of a sudden I got everything I need to do this from other patriots. I didn't go out and buy all this stuff, man. Rebecca donated things. Trooper showed me stuff. David showed me stuff. We trained Sean and me at the same time. Sean was out in Fort Wayne, Indiana, waving an American flag in the face of these Hamas supporters. We are the future, and we want to keep this going, America. We want to put the final nail in the coffin of the mainstream media. And doing that requires that you support us, the local streamers. And I appreciate everything that you guys send me. I just got a scarf from Jamie Crow. Thanks. I got one of the red, white, and blue scarves she makes. I'm stoked about that. Metal is Joy. She sent me wonderful Bible verses and stuff, and cards and letters. And donations. We need money to keep doing this. If I'm doing this is a time I'm not working. I can still work a little here and there, but in order to do trips and stuff, I'm going to need money to do that. So let's keep it going, Patriots. Support the Freedom Corner Patriots. Support Mama Mickey at forashley.com. Get one of them Ashley Babbitt t-shirts. That is one of the most iconic t-shirts of the times. It's going to be a piece of history, just like a red Make America Great hat, man, because those shirts have been in the congressional hearings for the last year and a half. And it's the network, Patriots. It's the family. It's America. This is how we do it here. God bless America, Patriots. This is Jericho. Over and out.